to another issue. This time around is on ASUU. Of course, we know that a few days ago, ASUU was threatening another strike, but thankfully the federal government set up a committee to quickly step in, have some talk with them, and it looks like that was shelved, even though things are not quite too okay yet. All right, but at least for now there is no strike from ASUU. But then ASUU has come out to accuse state governors of establishing new universities in order for them to exploit Tetfund for their own personal gains. All right, Dr. Maduka, let's talk about this issue quickly.
I think Tetfund is a fund established for tertiary institutions, university.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how it concerns us. It's just a 3% on the federation account. That's the taxable for every federal revenue. 3% goes to universities to improve on the infrastructure in the university, research work, and other things. I don't know how ASUU is kicking against it. I would have loved if ASUU is kicking against it if it's misappropriated the previous ones. That is where I would have said, okay, they have the grounds. But even if it's misappropriated, it's still ASUU.
That will explain how the money was. Yeah, but then you're asking, what is ASUU's business with Tetfund?
They have
concern with it because the members of ASUU are they not the professors and all that you have in the university. So
let me tell you, that's where I'm coming. If the fund is not being utilized appropriately, that is where I would say yes.
Maybe that could be their fear.
The fear, no. I think the problem is that the fund is not getting to them as it ought to be. And if somebody is in Abuja and he want to renovate the library, from Abuja comes straight and do that. I think the university want to have a hold on the account, so that you cannot come and dictate what we need. But the one that will tell you what we need, what is appropriate. As of today, even as of now, the ASUU should be charged. They should be accused, because sometimes you discover that the grant given to some of their members, when they go, some of them don't come back. So I think, there could be a balance. But this one, I think I'm not really supporting us. If they are going on strike because universities are, what do you mean? States should open a university. Because as of today, we are shortage of universities if you compare to our population.
But doctor, the existing ones, how are they funded? Are they being run very, very well? You see, you don't establish more universities while the existing ones are not properly run.
It's a different thing.
So that's an issue.
No, it's a different
thing. I've lost confidence, I've lost interest. ASUU, is it ASUU or whatever? ASUU. And the Nigerian Labour Congress. I don't have, because it's like they start a fight, they don't end. They don't end well. Look, have you heard anything about, a strike? Strike has never served any meaningful purpose in this country. So then their fear could be that you are opening new universities, which means some of this fund now will be diverted there and may not get to us. So that could be their fear. So it's important they want everything to be cornered to them. So the governors establishing private universities are not helping them.
Let me bring some clarity into this conversation. Let me bring some clarity. Okay. All right, so on the part of ASUU, actually the president of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, is accusing governors of founding state universities they cannot adequately fund.
That's the point.
All right? Yeah. In order for them to exploit Tetfund.
That's what I'm saying.
Financial gain.
That's their fear. That's their fear now, madam. I don't know why you hit the table. I don't know why you hit the table. Their fear is that the more the state governors establish more universities, some of these universities will be like ordinary secondary school. It will not be properly funded. All that money will be diverted to that.
Hold on. Beyond the fear is the issue that, first off, the state universities they are creating,
yes,
they are not creating it because of interest in education.
okay.
That's what ASUU is trying to say.
Because of the 3%.
Yes, yes, that will come to them. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just myopic to me, because 3% of the total revenue of education account going to that fund is if it's managed well, everybody, it's just like what we have in this country. You know, everybody is like self. There's nothing wrong if the state government are opening. But I think ASUU should come in the place of, look, the ones you established, funded right. But the test fund is not for them to determine when a university, that those universities will not be granted that fund. It is established, I think in 1993 Act, established test fund. And it's for every university. It's not like a state bus. So I don't know. I think the problem we have that when in Nigeria, when food is passed on a table and you count the number of people that are going to eat that food, you start being angry because it's not going to get here to get you more food than you wanted. But to me, if we are all united, there's nothing bad in establishing university. And that fund should not be a criteria for you to go on strike. What you should have done is that those state fund, because I handled a program recently for state fund, just few months ago, and I was able to get some of their problems. Some of their problems that even these universities are the problems, which I will not divorce here. Some of them that even when they give money for society, they end up, even when they come from inspection, they end up seeing another thing. Some of the universities lecturers, they granted grant to go abroad and school. When they go, they don't come back.
Because the economy is bad.
A lot of things are going on. And so it's not the management of the test fund. It is the utilization of test fund that I am concerned about. How do we utilize this so that every student, every school benefits from it? Not on the individual basis. I'm talking about state opening university, the governors. How is governor going to corner test fund that is established by law? There's a law of disbursement. Everything about disbursement is there. So how are they going to exploit it?
Okay. Doctor, I seem to disagree with you. Yes. You say how can they something that is established by law? What about the things, other things established, even constitutional law?
I'm talking about.
Yes, you cannot separate utilization from management. It's same thing. Who manages it? It is the person who manages it will not determine how it is utilized. Fine, but remember, last week one of the presidential candidates, PWB, talked about the underfunding of education. He said we should invest more on education. That is why we have some of these crises. So we have been complaining about, not funding education properly. We discussed about the facilities in the university some time ago, and nothing is there. The students, some of them are still taking lectures on the bare floor. Some are sitting on the window. So it is important when these funds are released, let it be properly utilized. Who manages it?
That is what I'm saying.
Who manages?
Let me tell you, as our 1970s when the war ended, in my village, which is just, we have up to two primary schools.
Yes.
2 primary schools.
Only, but now you have many.
So and you can walk down and go, and everything is being managed accurately. That's why I'm saying that the problem of Tetfund is not that universities have been established. The problem is the utilization of that fund. Do they manage it accurately? Do they investigate? Is there any auditing? Is there any investigation to the fund as to how it was utilized?
It's being utilized.
And let me tell you,
Doctor, who will bear the cat? Who will bear the cat? Who will investigate?
What was
That's the issue.
Even in some universities will get higher allocations or will not get, So these are the issues that we need to balance. It is not that the test fund has no problem. The test fund has no problem. But the problem is those people who are managing it. How do they manage so that every institution get the right fund that is needed?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, gentlemen. All right, so this TED fund has always been there. It's like a subvention by the government, to the tertiary institutions for management development.
Research.
Yes, you know, for both academic and
But do they use
infrastructural
it?
use. Yeah,
Do they use
that
it?
is the
That is where we are
question.
talking.
Is this money utilized how it should be utilized?
That is the issue.
And if ASUU is coming out to accuse state governors of eyeing, because that's what they're saying, of eyeing
They will have to look into that one.
for financial gains, then I think those who should be auditing, you know, should begin to pay close attention and know how this fund is being utilized.
Yeah.
All right.